Hello, everybody. Welcome to After the Credits number 68. I am joined once again, like always, my good friend Darth Bunyan. How's it going, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm good. It's been feels like we're in like another like transitional period that we find ourselves every couple months of like out with the current slate of shows, in with what April is going to be like one of the most insane months in TV I feel like we've had in a very long time. But I'm good. How are you? How's it going? How's life treating you, buddy?
A few ups, few downs, but you soldier on with a positive attitude, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Obviously, no Taz again this week. We're sorting out our lawyers. You know, he's trying to He's trying to like sue the show now. It's a whole thing. But no, he'll be back in as soon as he's feeling better. Shout out to Taz because he's a little bit under the weather.
Absolutely, 100% feel better.
Absolutely.
It's always better with him here. I love us just too. I do. I really do. But yeah, when he pulls out the radio voice, it's great. It's great. I love it.
It's good like balance, I think, to our two ends of the spectrum a little bit. That I think works very well. But yeah, obviously we're gonna be talking about a bit shorter show than normal, I think, just because we have one main show to talk about with episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again, which we will talk about in a little bit here. It's been like kind of a crazy couple of weeks, just like in the like the media whatever, like CinemaCon was this week, so there was a lot of different trailers for movies and things. We're going to talk about a couple here. I did want to talk to you about the new Star Wars show, which was announced, which I don't think anyone knew about it before it was announced. It kind of just popped up like, hey, May 4th special we're doing, which was Star Wars Tales of the Underworld, right? Have you seen that trailer and stuff?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Is this your first that you're hearing of it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The main things that I took out of CinemaCon were like the Spider-Man news, both Spider-Man news,
Mm-hmm.
which we called, right? We said we said both that the Spider-Man in Beyond the Spider-Verse is a dead set for information coming out, and the, if Spider-Man 4 happens, um, we were hoping that it would went the way it would go.
Mm-hmm.
That it would go the way it went. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was funny because like minutes after, like seconds after we went, like we ended the stream last week, they're like, "Across the Spider-Verse is here." I was like, "God damn it!" You should have waited 5 seconds. We could have talked about it a little bit, but no. Let me pull up this trailer then, because like I had watched this trailer and I had went, they are going to love this. I don't know who the heck these people are, but I bet they're going to have a blast with this. So we can watch the trailer here. You can kind of give your thoughts on it. Was going to have Taz also give his thoughts on it, so maybe he can kind of fill us in what he thinks next week. This is the third one of these shows they've done, right? The like Tales of Blank kind of thing.
There's Tales of the Empire, Tales of the Jedi. Yes, and then this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm curious to see what kind of did I pull up the right link? I did. Okay. I'm curious to see kind of what you think of it and all the characters and stuff like that, because I was looking at some of these and I was like, I roughly recognize some of these guys, but probably won't be a me kind of show. But let's give it a watch.
Interesting.
Just do as I say. Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, you're no stranger, Lady Ventress.
We got a problem here. Just saw him right in.
I do recognize this guy.
What's the situation?
Cad Bane.
Yeah. Clone Wars, right?
He was your best friend. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Took everything from me.
Who are you?
I was Count Dooku's lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
Bane? No one needs to die.
She's dead. Oh no, wait, it's not that big. Okay, she's fine.
Get them.
Oh. Ooh, ooh.
You're gonna pay for what you did. This revenge, I hope it's worth it. It will be.
Wow.
I'm right in.
So
Really
Tail-
interesting. Can you go back to like the still of the guy, like the Dark Force user, when they showed him with his face mask? It looked like a Decepticon Vader.
Not sure where that one would have been.
Yeah, around here.
Around here? Is that it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me know when to stop.
Boom.
Was that it?
Yeah. Ooh. Who is that?
I do not know.
He looks fun.
So explain the Underworld element of this. Is this just like various like villains and stuff of Star Wars? Is that kind of the whole like Underworld thing?
I think it could be more the location of where they are. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that this is where these characters are having to take their exile and refuge. You know what I mean? Because Ventress is on the run from both good and bad sides. I would argue the same for Cad Bane. Where's the safest place in the territories that neither of them really go? You know, so that is the Outer Rim, the Underworld, the kind of like the Nar Shaddars, the Mos Eisley spaceports, you know, kind of things like that. So, it's going to be really, really interesting because Ventress is a deep character that we've seen like a lot. I think the whole of her life from really, and especially from Clone Wars. And Cad Bane is an absolute draw and a fan favorite as much as Boba Fett is. But Ventress, like, wow, because you spent so long hating her, you know what I mean? And then she goes on that turn of where she's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm doing me. And the fact that she's chosen a yellow lightsaber, which would kind of put her in, depending on the era and what like she's chosen it for, it could be that she's choosing it in the fact that she's quite balanced in the Force and is choosing like the path of a Jedi Sentinel kind of thing, or like which is like from the games and stuff, but like quite similar. Or she could be like, I'm embodying the symbol of the Knights, right? And I'm protecting what it means to be a Jedi and the Jedi Order, and I'm becoming a bastion for it to thrive. And obviously she's trying to protect the youngling, but this scary thing is like that's how when her master passed was protecting her when she was young, if I'm not mistaken. I have to get back on that one, but yeah, I'm just scared for her because I don't want the same thing. Yeah, I don't want her story to bookend so well, which is funny because there's a show I want to talk to you about later. That I think you'll really, really like.
Yeah, in terms of like Star Wars and like animation, I don't think I've seen any of it. I've seen like maybe 12 episodes of Clone Wars, none of
Wow.
Rebels, none of like all the newer stuff, and it sucks because I think Clone Wars could be my favorite like Star Wars thing, right? In terms of like an ongoing story. Like I
Mhm.
always love TV shows more than I love movies most of the time. I like these ongoing stories. I love the prequel stuff. So it's like I should just love it. It's just finding the time to watch a show that old at this
That
point.
long.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like putting that time aside. Um one of these days though, I'll spend a couple months be like all the animated Star Wars stuff, just going through it and but like and again, like it seems like that's been kind of like the highlight of many people in terms of like Star Wars and Disney Plus, like the Return of Clone
Mhm.
Wars and Bad Batch and Visions. I hear is very good, which that's also coming out this year. That's
Another
one
one. Oh yeah. Hell
I
yeah. Visions is great. I have so many favorites. Like when you sit there and go, oh, like which one's your favorite? It's not like
mm,
What If, where I say like episode 4 in series 1,
sure.
um Kahori's episode in like what, season 2. Do you know what I mean? Like that's where I
Mhm,
am, like with What
sure.
If, right? But with Visions, I'm like, dude, there's the samurai episode, there's the one with the old man, right? There's the one with the little dude, just the robot, right? There's the Sabersmith episode. Like there's so many good ones. There's like the Sick Twins anime episode.
Mm.
Um
The one of the
like and
painter,
then each huh?
the one of the painter from season 2. Also, hi everybody.
Oh yeah,
Hello,
hi.
Ronan.
Oh
How's it
yeah,
going,
hi.
buddy?
Yeah, the painter, wow. And then the one with the Sith as well. That is the painter, isn't
Yeah.
it? It was the Sith lady. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Um, the Force users on the planet that are oppressed, like those sisters,
Yeah.
like that's a deep one. And then there's people in the hole, man. Like,
Yeah.
what- yeah, this is what I mean, man. Star Wars Visions kills it every time. Like,
Yeah.
like there's not a lame duck in the bunch, honestly. Even when it's like me, like it's wow, it's good.
Mhm. Yeah, like that was one when we did our like most anticipated shows of the year thing and Visions came up. I was like, inherently I probably wouldn't have been excited, but I think after our Skeleton Crew or weekly talking about Skeleton Crew, I was excited to talk more about Star Wars with you guys because as it isn't inherently my favorite franchise of all, like you and Taz being so passionate about it made me want to be like, yeah, I want to get more into that world. And Visions does look very up my alley because it seems very non-committal. Like it seems like I can just watch those
Hundred
as
percent, hundred
solo
percent.
stories and still
Oh
really
yeah.
enjoy it.
Like that's exactly the point of it, right? Because
Yeah,
it's like there's no connection whatsoever. It's all anthology episodes, right?
that sounds sick.
So each
Yeah.
episode was given to a creator, and they said, right, here's a story, go nuts, right? Do you know what I mean? Or just go nuts, right? And they all do phenomenally well, and it's all so different. Like it's
Yeah.
great. It's great. There's so many visions that have just come to life. It's like, you said it.
Makes me so sad because like you say that and I was like, that's kind of what I wanted for What If. I wish What If could have took a little bit of
Yeah,
inspiration from that.
I kept
Um,
saying it when we were watching it. I kept
yeah,
saying Visions was outshining them, and they didn't heed it because what did they do?
yeah.
They tried saving the day with a purple happy. I'm never letting them live that down.
How's it going, Ronan? How are you today?
I'm good. I can only be here for a few minutes because I'm at work busy. But yeah, as soon as I
Sure.
saw y'all talking animation, I was
Hmm.
like, oh shoot! Especially Star Wars animation. I was like, okay, this is interesting. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Good. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you too much while you're at work, but like before you have to go, like, what's your thoughts on this new? Is it a series or is it like a movie? Like, what's the kind of the whole
Uh,
deal with this?
It's a special
It's a series of
presentation.
shorts. No, so it's a series of shorts. There's quote unquote two prior seasons, but
Yeah, but it's all released in one go, though.
yeah,
Yeah, I think they just drop it all at once. Yeah.
yeah. The first one is Tales of the Jedi. Second one is Tales of the Empire. Now this is Underworld, and so I was by the time we got to Empire, I was like, it makes sense if you want to hang out in the Underworld section and see how that plays out, and especially with stuff that was lingering in the Bad Batch and some stuff that I wasn't too crazy about in the Book of Boba Fett. I'm like, there's an opportunity to do right by some of that stuff, and we have this to go for it. And I just love the style of animation, and I love these two characters.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Sure.
music, the opening, it felt like Sicario theme. Like it was like, whoo. But yeah, there's so much I want to tell you, but I want to spoil stuff because I'm a nerd.
Wait, you seen it? Have you
No,
seen
no,
it?
no. I wish I've seen
Oh.
it. But because I know like they've made books of Assange. I've seen a lot of these series. I want to spoil too much, but like let's just say that
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about her.
I know what you're thinking. Yeah, yeah. Um, I just to me, Tales has been the thing that has been such a cool new thing to add to Star Wars besides Visions. Whereas like it's short, it's not full on episodes, and yet the writing is exceptional in some of these episodes that rivals the live action shows and some of the movies. Like it's that good of a new pillar into the franchise.
Sure. I kind of agree. Like I think it's such like again I haven't seen these, but like I do feel like that's such a smart way to tell stories within this grander universe. Like I've almost pitched something similar for like the MCU, where I've said like I would almost like these more smaller individual stories sometimes over like a 6-episode event or something like that. Like I think the MCU could greatly deal with like an anthology series of some kind just to tell these individual character journeys instead of like I don't know, like not that I'm not enjoying what we're getting over at Marvel, but like I think this is very smart in terms of like marketing characters and telling their stories and stuff like that.
Well, Marvel has the presentation stuff now, and like again, only 2 of them we've gone thus far, and I'm like, there's your new entry point.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do a full on movie or do a full on show, the specials is the sweet spot where like, okay, people weren't crazy about I don't know, Moon Knight or She-Hulk as a whole show.
Sure.
Let's see them in a special and see if they can manage it that way, or the Eternals. If they ever want to do more stuff with them, like do a special about the Eternals and why
Sure.
they exist and how deep the lore is, because it is a deep, deep lore.
Sure. I would agree with all that for sure.
I want that, but I need to change them to stop being robots. Keep the Celestials robots. That's fine, because that's what it's supposed to be. But like, don't make the Eternals robots.
I get that.
Only-
Are you interested into diving into this side of Star Wars, Darren? Because that's the cool thing I liked about recent stuff that a lot of people don't dig is that like you can go into Mandalorian not having been a Star Wars fan. You can go into Andor and not having been a Star Wars fan. You can go into like Rebels, the Bad Batch, and still like learn as you're going. And yet, if you've been following it, you get a cool, nod to yourself, or you get a little gold star, virtual gold star. Like, all right, you've been following with us. This is a little treat if you've been with us this long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like me and Darth were just talking about it. Like, I haven't seen Clone Wars or Rebels, so I feel like these are a lot of characters that like inherently I don't know yet, or I'm not super in depth with yet. Someday I would love to dive into like the animated side of Star Wars because I was just telling Darth I love animation. I love TV. This stuff should be my favorite stuff within Star Wars that I haven't even touched the surface of yet. So, hopefully someday. But honestly, I do think I will check out Visions later this year. When that new season comes out, I'll binge the whole show. There's 2 seasons right now, right? So it's not too crazy long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, Visions I think will definitely be something I check out. Let me read over some
I would
comments.
say, sorry. I said
go
we
ahead.
quickly say as well, Tales of the Jedi is a great watch. Empire also, but like Jedi, I think you'll really like as well. So I think you need to like jump in with those because
Sure.
man, it starts off with like 2 really like it starts off with the great dudes. You know what I mean? It starts off with Count Dooku and Mace Windu. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Dealing with some shit. So yeah, it's sick. It's sick. Just it's great.
Amazing. Let me read through a couple comments here, and then we will move on to our second trailer. I'm looking forward to more Star Wars content, even if it's animated TV shows on Disney Plus. Do you guys prefer the animated stuff, or do you guys prefer the live action TV shows?
Both. Both have strength.
Sure.
And both should be able to complement one another.
I agree with that.
I was gonna say it does depend. It fully depends. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like save Star Wars Visions, that wouldn't work as well.
In
Like
live
it would be
action.
interesting. It would be interesting, but it wouldn't have the same impact that it does have because of the freedom that they have with animation.
I would agree with that. I would agree. I mean, I haven't seen it, so I guess I can't agree with that. But from just what I've seen, it seems like its strength is its animated formula and like what you can do to stretch the art of that art form.
At the moment, it's mind-blowing stories told in sophisticated and interesting ways. And if it was done in live action, they would have no recourse but just to make it like Days of Our Lives in Star Wars.
Yeah. Boy, fellas, I have to head out. I get back to it, but thanks for having me on for a little bit.
Of course, buddy. You have a good night and have fun at work.
Yeah. See you, Space Cowboys.
See ya. Alrighty. Next up here, and then we'll move on to our Daredevil conversation shortly. I'm not gonna watch this trailer just because there's a lot of music and stuff like that. Easily will get claimed, but we did get a new Superman sneak peek. I was on, it was very funny. I was on the during the Warner Brothers panel. I was over on Party Nation. We streamed for I don't know, almost 4 hours waiting for them to drop a second trailer. We're like, it's happening soon. It's going to happen soon. No new trailer. We just stayed on and chatted for nothing, even though that's always very fun. How are you feeling about James Gunn's Superman? Obviously, me and you have talked about this movie a lot. Are you in it still? Are you still excited? Because I know a lot of people have been flipping on it a little bit.
Don't even, right? So, let me say, right? I don't want to be that guy. His name was one I put from day one, right? I've always known that he can juggle a whole bunch of shit, which is really, really good. I've been excited since his name was announced. I've said he's going to be doing great work, right? But Superman wasn't the first thing that I was excited for.
Sure.
I'm excited for the Batman movie, if I'm honest with you.
Sure.
And the Green Lantern show, and a couple of things here and there, like Supergirl. I'm interested in because that's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't seen before, in the World of Tomorrow. Or Girl of Tomorrow. I forget what the comic was based on.
Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So Superman weren't the first thing I was excited by, right? And then we got a first look at it, and I was like, oh wow, this is actually going to be really, really good. Because I love Superman Returns. And this reminds me of a whole bunch of different versions of Superman all at once. And I was like, oh wow, it's going to be really, really, really good. It's going to be great. And then with the first look, it was exciting, but this one, wow. I can't describe the feeling I got. It was amazing, and it was kind of like being living in a real comic book world. You know what I mean? I understand that that's kind of what Snyder was going for, but I don't know, it just, the grittiness didn't make it feel more real. Do you know what I mean? This, I don't know, just felt, the trailer felt very physical. Do you know what I mean? Very active, and it felt very real being in it. And
yeah,
the whole thing's comic booky as hell. He sat there on a chaise lodge or a couch or whatever with Lois Lane while a giant alien ball or God knows what is outside shooting beams at a city, all nonchalant and stuff, before he whips out and takes care of business. Do you know what I mean? Like the whole thing's crazy, but you're just there for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this was such a smart sneak peek to put out. And I've already talked about this a little bit, but like, I think it was very smart to have it be an extension of that main trailer, right? Right? Like, what everyone thinks of when I think of that first trailer they put out was Crypto dragging him through the thing. And I think really marketing that side of Superman is so smart. I think showing the humanity that he has through the love of his pets, through the robots. I think that's the thing that I love so much, was like, that's going to be the theme that I think they really get back to, that Superman is someone that loves and cares for everybody no matter what. It doesn't matter if they have a conscience. It doesn't matter if they're people or dogs or humans or aliens or, you know, winged people. Like, he cares for everybody. And I loved this little scene of like, oh, you don't have to say thank you. We wouldn't care either way, kind of thing. It's like, that's so good. That's so much fun. Alan Tudyk, right, is coming back for this one as well. We've heard him in Creature Commandos as well. Fortress also just looks incredible. Like, I love this look. People were calling this like, it looks like a CW Fortress, and I was like, I love Superman and Lois, I love Supergirl, but like, it did not look like this.
This Fortress does look amazing. My only tiny nitpick is that it disappears when he's not there and it's into the ground.
Sure.
I mean, other than that, it's insane. It's sick. The fact that it moves and shifts shape, and then like he's like, oh, he needs this amount of sunlight from this part of the world and this concentration.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just sick.
It feels very modern. That's something.
Yep.
You haven't been on Twitter the last couple weeks, but man, this got so much outrage from a certain part of the internet.
It's so silly. It's so silly.
People are like, he gets hurt by sunlight? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this one's so weak. It's like, his bones are healing.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, right? This is the bit that like made it feel like super real in a comic book world.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hitting him with super high sunlight at like a whole level of degree, like to fast track internal healing and this and this and this. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing a whole lot with just sun shooting at his face. So yeah, like, it's gonna be painful. Like, the shouting that he's doing might not be from the sun on his face. It could be from the fact that all of his stuff's stitching back together. You know? A break.
I think that's such a good improvement. I think that's so smart to like. He doesn't just get shot with it and be like, "I'm all good." This, you know, the baby didn't even hurt. It's like, no, like fixing your bones and like your liver and your all these things. That'd be painful as hell. I don't care if you have superpowers. I don't care if you're the strongest man on earth. That sounds painful, and I think having it be something very relatable like that is very smart. I think that's. I love Superman. We love Superman. You know, we had Smallville and Superman and Lois and Supergirl and stuff like that, right? But like, for a lot of people, Superman isn't relatable. Like, they haven't been able to connect with him for a level for some years now, and I can understand that to a point. While I personally disagree, I can understand that take. So I think having the main marketing so far be Clark doing very human stuff, like getting hurt, hanging with his dog, hanging with his wife, you know, or not his wife, but like hanging, you know, with like, you know, the like love of his life, doing the papers. I think that's so smart because they've been making him so human from the get-go, and I think that's the stuff I love from Superman. Yes, it's great when he's in costume and he's fighting, you know, whatever, but it's when I think Clark Kent is the more interesting part of the Superman dynamic. Is like, how does Superman feel about the world? How does he feel about his relationship and the people that are at stakes and all that fun stuff?
You're absolutely right, because he's been around for what, like 100 years now, nearly, if not.
Yeah.
Like 30s, his cartoon was around, right? Like,
yeah.
At least the comic book was or something. So there's so many people that have almost deified him and made him like a god in the comic book world, where no wrong can come to him. Like, he is super duper duper strong to, like, he can never not lift anything, and he's one of, like, he's just, even though he's not the strongest, he's always the strongest in comics. You know what I mean? But he's not. And I think that was very much, again, drawback to the Snyderverse, right? Because you had like a very literal representation of hero worship in those movies. You know what I mean? Like literal shots of him coming there like a caped Jesus, and people in disaster zones reaching up to him in slow motion shots. You know, him in crowds and everybody just reaching out. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. So the fact that you're right that they've decided to go this way is very telling for how that they want to do everything. And you're right. I think that they're gonna have a triumph on their hands because of the way that, like you said, they're going for the human aspect of the hero, which makes him incredibly relatable. You know what I mean? Because like when he gets hit in the gut, he's gonna be like, "Oh!" Like, everybody's gonna feel it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be great.
I would agree with that. Yeah. No, I love it. We already talked about it like a little bit, but I love the crypto stuff. Like, I love how real of a dog he is. Like, I love it's like, oh, dad's home, come on, dad, let's play, until he finally realizes, like, oh, something's different about dad. Let's go take care of you, dad. You know, like he's a super dog, but he's also still a dog, which I think it would have been very easy to make him just like a super stoic, super smart dog. And he's probably still very smart, but he's still a dog, which I think that's going to win over a lot of people.
He straight beat the crap out of him. It was great. Two questions. Funny. One, the fact that the fortress rises so long after, does Crypto have a doggy door?
I mean, you would think, because it's his home too, right? Like, he has every right to the Krypton heritage as much as Clark does.
Okay, see, this whole conversation is just making me think about Hancock's deleted scene. What was the other thing? Right, so talking about Crypto, do you think there will be an X amount of people that will be instantly put off in the movie because he's not like the big wolfhound that they love so much, and he's not like it's like, oh, that's not my dog, that's not my Crypto.
Already people that are like,
no way,
he's too nuts.
No way.
Why is he so much fun? Why isn't he more serious? You know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's people that don't like that he's in the movie at all. There's people that's like, I don't think Crypto should be in the movie because he's too fun and silly. And it's like, I love it, man. I love that we're doing Crypto. That's so sick.
Someone needs to talk to the people in the real world. Like, the world's very serious, and we got to look at dog ownership. You know, we can't do that. It's not a fun place. You know, the world's too serious.
Agreed.
They're so stupid. And no, I was being silly, but like, come on, how cute that dog is. Anybody that has the ability to look at it in his little CGI eyes and tell it it's a problem, they've got issues and need therapy.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the wanting it to be a different breed in some scenarios. Like I can understand like a slight disappointment with like, hey, this is how I envisioned it. It's slightly different. It's based on James Gunn's dog instead of like the Titans version kind of thing. And like, I can understand that to a point, but like, I really don't think it's.
Isn't he a golden retriever in Smallville?
He's a golden retriever in Smallville. Yeah, same with Superman and Lois, right? It's like it's a golden retriever there as well. But
see, what is he in that awful man Dean Cain's one?
Oh, I haven't touched that show. Haven't touched any of his stuff. You want to know a really fun fact, though?
Yeah, go on.
In Superman and Lois Season 2, when they go to the Bizarro Earth, there is a cat collar that says Crypto on it, which would imply the opposite of that on their Earth would be a dog. And there's a cat, there's a dog. I always thought that was such a fun little Easter egg. I assumed they probably didn't think they were ever going to do Crypto, so they were like, yeah, throw in a little Easter egg to Crypto in there.
So look at him. He's so cute. Excuse me.
He is. I want to watch just one more thing here that I kind of forgot about. This is a HBO. They released another one of their like coming soon to Max, and there's a couple pieces of footage of Peacemaker that I kind of wanted to talk about here really quickly.
Ooh.
Not so much like the footage itself, but just like I want to talk about the placement of the show just a little bit. And then if there's anything else in that trailer you want to talk about as well, we can pull it up. Just give me 1 second. Are you excited for more Peacemaker, by the way?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm dying to know what they're gonna do about it. There's got to be more than just Senior's flags coming at me because I killed Junior flag.
Yeah.
There has to be more to it than that. And they have to explain the butterflies, and they have to have a great opening dance. Like, that show has so many expectations. That show sets such a high bar.
Hi, Cameron. How's it going, buddy? All right, let's give it a watch.
Oh, you want to start or what? Let's try something different.
Ooh, Mark Ruffalo.
What it is?
You're not going to beat her at her own game.
How's your brother doing?
How's your face doing? You want to keep it?
So many HBO shows I just haven't got around to watching.
Win.
It's a shame.
There are just some things everyone agrees are just wrong.
No, get back here!
To be able to get your message in at the last minute is incredible.
This is very exciting.
Welcome to Mountainhead. And I hope you rich folks don't mind slumming it in the humble abode of a working man. Where's the money? Let the circus begin.
I'm so excited.
You can't hide behind the piano.
I did hear voices.
Oh yeah, the It series.
You're a superhero now.
So
There's so many.
yeah, so much.
Many.
Just like mainly the thing I just want to bring up that I think is interesting. How do you feel that it's August? That it's coming out in August? Because it's about a month after Superman comes out. And I don't know, for like some reason it bugs me a little bit that like they're not letting Superman breathe just a little bit, especially with such a large gap in between projects, because I think it goes Superman, Peacemaker, and then I think Supergirl would be the next project, which is like almost a year later, unless Lanterns is somewhere before then. But like, how do we feel that it's so recent after Superman comes out?
I kind of feel like he had to make it that way.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You know, like in the same way that like Creature Commandos was his kind of like vanity project for all intents and purposes, you know. So he kind of like had to put that first, because like as everybody's talking about, like Superman, as much as it shouldn't be, is kind of where everybody's putting all of the eggs, right?
Sure.
And they're like, right, if this goes well, then here, have a bunch more eggs because we need a bigger basket, right? But then if nobody likes it, then like it's just going to fizzle out. They're not going to keep investing because it's a continual cycle. You know what I mean? So it's very much in the case that I think he put it there because, like you said, Supergirl's so far away, so that either way it's happening. either way, his Peacemaker thing, which is where he
Mm.
started with DC, like he gets to tell his story.
Sure. Yeah, and you're right. Like it, we've had many conversations about like should Peacemaker be going over and like all these fun things, but like that aside, I am so excited to see this character again because I did enjoy season 1 so much. I had such a good time with that, and I think it's interesting her being like, well, you're a superhero now. So I'm wondering, is that going like, are they going to element some slightly new changes to this new version of Peacemaker? What has happened in between the 2 seasons and stuff like that?
Well, okay, so this is the thing. Like, what makes you a hero, a superhero, is feats of like incredible feats that are like beyond human capabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like should be. So it's like, oh my god, he's superhuman to pull that off, right? He saved the world. He did. But like, can he be called a superhero for that one act? Do you know what I mean? Because if anything, it was a government contracted man attacking an alien threat, or an alien immigrant, really, and wait, no, they weren't peaceful. It was only Merv that was peaceful, wasn't it? But they were actually trying to keep the planet safe, right?
Sure.
So depending on whose side you're on, right? If you're on planet Earth side and you want to keep the thing going, I'm not saying that they were horrible things, right? But I don't know. I would just question whether he's a superhero, right? And then also, are they gaslighting him? Do you know what I mean? Like, Adebayo is very good at lying to him, right? As much as they like each other, and they do, he is good at lying to him, right?
Very good at telling him what he wants to hear.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. Plus, like, to be a hero, you need... You can be a hero without everybody knowing, but, like, in most instances of somebody being a hero, there's veneration for somebody. Do you know what I mean? Nobody likes Peacemaker. Do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't that make him like an anti-hero, if anything? Because like he's out here just shooting people, and you can't be a super anti-hero.
By definition, he is an anti-hero, I think. Like, he's not, at least previously, he's not been doing the greatest things all the time. Like, he will just go out, like, murk somebody and then go on his way. Like, he's not like the greatest guy.
Yeah, which is why he doesn't have a quarter of supervillains. Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
that was such a good bit.
Because he puts him 6 feet under.
Cameron says, I think Peacemaker Season 2 would have come out sooner if James Gunn was not the CEO of DC Studios and had to jerk Superman. I'm not sure if Peacemaker would have come out if he didn't join as like CEO.
Might have been pushed later.
Yeah, like
because it was an original project. Sorry.
Yeah, no, like it was fully part of the original universe. And again, I don't blame the guy for bringing his people over. I would probably do the same thing if I was him. Like, I don't want to start over with what I already started. I get that. But I don't know if like I don't know if DJ Eric was like, I'm the new CEO of DC. I don't know if he would have been like, yeah, but I'm going to bring over all this other stuff that I wasn't creatively a part of. A new CEO would have been like, yeah, I'm doing my own stuff. We're starting completely fresh, completely from scrap. So I'm excited for this. Was there anything else in this little trailer that we got that you're excited for at all?
There weren't really. The whole thing. I would say the Peacemaker stuff. There weren't really anything of.
Yeah,
everything else there was so much of. There's so much of it. Oh my god! I mean, I know I'm missing out on TV, man, but like, inundated isn't even the word. There's an insane amount of streaming services / platforms alone, right?
Yeah.
And then you have each of those are just throwing content at you because everybody's working hard. So how the hell do you decide what the hell to watch? Like, that's literally half the battle. Like, that whole thing of like, oh, I spent an hour and 40 minutes on Netflix deciding what movie to watch.
Yeah.
Didn't watch anything. I fell asleep doing it. That was my movie. It's nonsense. Like, you just watch the little
Yep.
opening bits. Oh, yeah.
It's so many great shows I don't get around to. Like, I'm behind on like White Lotus, and the Studio just came out, and like that's a show I hear is fantastic.
Oh my god, that's the show I want to talk. That's the show I want to tell you about. Like, literally, wow, yeah. Oh my god, I'm 3 episodes in.
Are you? Is it good?
Yeah. You need to pick it up. You're gonna love it. Wow. The talent in that. Martin Scorsese's
I hear it's
in it,
fantastic.
dude. Martin Scorsese's in it. Like, and his acting is hilarious. He is fucking great. Excuse my language. He is so good. And my best mate Liam was saying, like, oh yeah, no, of course he's good, because like he spent so long directing everybody that like yeah, because there's a bit in there where, like, don't want to spoil anything, but like he sees the minutia in reactions, and he's like, haha, I see it. I see that. I know what that is. So yeah, like, it's genuinely both a critique and a love letter of like the industry as a whole, and it's great. The humor is dark.
I've heard it came out at the best time with the Minecraft movie just coming out. I heard it's like it almost nails that entire thing on its head.
Yes, I didn't think about that. Oh my god, it really, really does. Right, and also
Is it like a Kool-Aid Man movie that they're making or something?
Yes, they're trying to make a Kool-Aid movie.
That's so funny. That's so good.
Yeah, they just got done making a Jenga movie or something, or trying to buy the rights to that.
So good.
There's Kool-Aid on the go. There was talk of like another franchise as well, and like they make a point of wanting to be like Barbie.
That's so good.
And I said they should have, like, I don't want to spoil too much, right? But like Martin Scorsese has a film, and Kool-Aid has a movie. Or is trying to make a movie, right? And I just said make it a double feature. Do you know what I mean? And then when you get it, when you see what it is, when you see it, the double feature they could have made, the double feature, would have been amazing, honestly. Such a good show, right? And Severance, I've just finished, or did we finish these episode 2? We're on 3 now. Really, really, really good. This is the thing: is there's some things that feel a little bit tropey because there's only so many ways that in like a natural setting you can set a story off and it be genuine.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like, say for example, like Cheval's friend that has gone missing or didn't show up to work suddenly appears, kind of thing, you know, and then the whole world changes, kind of like, oh my god, everything's so different now. Like it's kind of like one of those kind of things, like sets it off. Do you know what I mean? But like other than that,
fantastic. Yeah.
The way they do everything is insanely good. The attention to detail is great. Everybody, again, Apple TV Plus, like they're just throwing their money at it because everybody's on their A game, and they got such good people like Adam Scott, John Turturro. I don't know the woman that plays Hallie, and the guy that Mr. Milchek. Oh my god! Wow! Oh, how the hell you actually do somebody that's so polite and nice and just pleasant, but like you just know it's a shell, because the second that crumbles, like something's coming out, and like just oh my god, it's that mustache, it's that fucking mustache. I don't know what it is. There's something about him. He's so cool. But oh my god, when he's like, oh yeah, he's like why are you so nice to Mr. Milchick? I'm nice to Mr. Milchick because he's great when he's nice, and he's not nice when he's not nice. Right? It's like, oh, okay.
I
Oh,
ended
love it.
season 2 being like, this actor needs an Emmy. Because, like,
Yeah.
he's good in season 1, he's even better in season 2. Like, that man is insane with the performance he has to give in season 2.
Really? Okay. Question: Is the intro AI?
I don't think so. No.
Right. I said it wasn't. I said it
I don't
wasn't,
think
and
it
a friend
is.
of mine said it was because of the faces, right? But like,
I think that's all art. I think that's all them.
trippy, so good, so good. And I can't believe Petey died, man. Died in the shower. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
Crazy.
And then, like, doesn't that tell you to just leave everything alone? Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy so far, Mark, has been the biggest advocate of keep everything in the status quo, keep everything nice. Other than those pictures, you know, like he was doing very, very well. And then somebody dies in your shower and you're going to keep like pulling a thread. That's when you leave it. Like, you literally know. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm the first schmuck to have what was it? Something sickness, right? He's like, oh, I've never heard of that. Yeah, because I'm the first schmuck to have it, right?
Yeah.
All because he was playing around with the chip. Don't play with the chip, right? You're an idiot to put it in the first place. That's fine. You have to live with that decision, because not living with that decision turns you into Petey. So why would you do that yourself? Do you mean, like, why would you even start on the road knowing that you turn into Petey? And how you don't even know how long Petey was on the road, because the guy just disappeared from work, and they've not said anything about it. You know nothing about it because you know nothing about work. Oh my god! And the concept of the show is insane. Like, literally, right? Like, obviously you never go to work. Do you know what I mean? You just go to a building and then wake up again, and then you truck off again, right? But then there's also another side of you that's basically in purgatory. You know, like a
That's your whole
hellscape
life.
of just constant work. Where again, like, they're talking about, like, oh, this personage that we made of you would die if you quit. You know, so you cease to exist, and it's just like, whoa, you know.
It's a show that
And then,
really
like,
makes you think about, like, what would I do in this situation? Like, how would I feel if all I had was work? How would I make the best out of that situation? What is, like, it's so interesting, just like creating a new person of just like, that's all you are. You are a new individually person, and how do you see the world having just known what's right in front of you and nothing else really? It's so fascinating.
Well, yeah. Also, that, like, you're right. Like, they make up a person from the base, right? Because they have no idea of anything. Like, they basically get told who and how they are, right? But when that doesn't align with, like, your natural sense of who you are, like, obviously they have to tailor it to be like you. Otherwise, it will feel unnatural. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, you're acting kind of thing. Oh my god, right? We just discovered the break room, right? And then that therapist lady that's sitting there talking about deducting points because John Turturro is sitting there, like, reacting to the fact that he's generous, that he's a fantastic lover, like this and this and this, and, like, oh my god, what an amazing way to just be so vague when describing someone. Like, literally, it was almost like horoscope stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like how disgustingly vague it was. You're an adequate swimmer. You are generous. You give to several charities. You like animals.
Everyone loves animals. Tell me something real. You know?
Yeah. And, like, that was like such, like, again, language, right? But that was like such a cuck situation, that he was stuck in, right? Because he had to sit and react to nothing at all, deadpan. Do you know what I mean? While being weirdly admonished. You know, like she was telling him off in like the most therapy way of like, okay, please now don't react, or this session will now end and we'll deduct all points. Like, excuse me, you were going 10 at a time a moment ago. Like, how did I start losing all of my points in one go just because I started reacting to something? Because, you know what I mean? Like, it was so weird. It was so weird. It was so insane. And then, oh my God, right? Like, I'm sorry, I know we need to talk about Daredevil, right? But the whole idea of this guy, like, we were talking about this yesterday, right? So, like, the math of it, there's 24 hours in a day, right? You're at work for 8 hours, right? You sleep for 8 hours. That means you got 8 hours of struggling, right? Because this guy is grieving, right? And while there are stages of grief, and you can get to acceptance, you are still gonna like be grieving, but in a different way. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And the whole reason he's done it is because he lost his partner, right? So basically, the whole thing he wanted was to switch off, right? But the way that it works is he doesn't even switch off. Like, he literally, boom, and I'm back again. You know what I mean? Like, a whole bunch of times happen, but he doesn't even experience that. So all he's done is just knock 8 hours off the clock, of which he has of grieving, but still has the same issue of, oh, like, I'm still just dealing with this stuff because he literally doesn't feel it. Like, I mean, unless you look at it in the same way as like work Mark views sleep, in that he can only, because he doesn't experience it, he can only experience the benefits of it. You know what I mean? So like maybe there's that side to it, but again, that's only because you're playing like psychological games with yourself to make the reality work.
Yeah, like there's an element of that I can't talk on yet, but like once we do, there is an element of like what is
again? I'm only on episode 3, dude. I'm only on episode 3. This is insane, and there's so much to talk about already. Like, wow, wow, oh my god, and oh my god, what's her name? Arquette, Patricia Arquette, right? Oh my god, what a psychopath. I'm wondering if there's a work Milne check and not, right? I'm wondering how far the chip goes, right? Because if not, he's truly a psycho, and so is she. For the stuff that she's doing to become a neighbor of the guy that you're fucking about with at work, like, don't be a dick, innit? Don't be a dick. That's next level psycho. It's awesome. It's impressive. But it's goddamn psycho. Do you know what I mean? And she plays the part so well. Oh. I'm pretty sure she's putting on an accent as well, and I don't even know why. I think just because. Again, I can't wait to watch more. I can't wait. It's so good.
Hello, Kenneth.
And then,
how's it going?
and then we got like Last of Us to watch and stuff as well. Yeah,
yes,
I need to watch
absolutely.
that. Like, I've been putting that off a little bit. The studio crept in because like Liam was like, "Dude, you have to watch."
So many good shows right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Let me read a couple comments here, and then we will move on to Daredevil. Kenneth said, "I'm super excited for Superman. Don't get the hate the film is getting." Absolutely, Kenneth. We are super excited over here. I'm loving Daredevil Born Again. Actually, I'll say that as a transition here in a second. Cameron says, Darren, quick question. Do you want the Power Rangers reboot series to have longer episodes or longer runtimes or both? Great question. I would like it. I've talked about this on our new show over on Lance's channel, but like, I would like you to streamline it a little bit. Like, I would like to at least see what does a 35-40 minute Power Rangers episode look like? What does a more almost like teen drama Power Rangers looks like comparatively to like your typical 20-minute Power Ranger episode. I'd be very interested to see what that looks like. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can go back to what's been working for the last 30 years or whatever. But I definitely think you need to like revamp what Power Rangers is for the modern audience, for the modern day, for sure.
Do you not remember like that gritty thing? The guy
The
from
2017
Dawson's
movie?
Creek. No. There's
Okay.
like a 7 to like 13-minute short with the guy from Dawson's Creek.
I think
And
there
it was
was
like-
was that the fan project? Because I know there was like a super gritty, like they're all dying and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, great. Like that's what they should do. That's what they should do. Because like they're right? Because like the whole idea of them recruiting teenagers and giving them powers and weapons and giant like vehicles that they drive and like smash around cities with and everything else. You know what I mean, like that's an insane. Like we don't even let kids have alcohol
Yeah.
or cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like we ID people those for at work. Like, but we want to give them superpowers. You know what I mean? Like, where is the line here? You know?
It's something I've talked about where it's like I want to find a balance because I don't want to necessarily take away all the cheesiness of Power Rangers because that's what Power Rangers is at its core, but I want to streamline it a little bit. I think something similar to like what the MCU does, where it's like not dark and gritty all the time, but it can be, you know, like maybe not every episode having someone's hand get chopped off, but you can have blood every once in a while if it suits the story. Something very like X-Men 97, where it's like still a cheesy show, but like people die. You know, there are real stakes. Things can get really serious. So stuff like
have
that.
It animated.
I'd be open to it. It won't be animated.
That would open
but,
up a lot more.
Yeah, I've been wanting one for years. I think they almost did one at one point in time, but it never got off the ground. But speaking of, actually, I'll just use this as a transition. I'm loving Daredevil Born Again so far. Speaking of Daredevil Born Again, let's get into our Born Again conversation for the week. This was episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again. We are in the back half of the series. This was the final episode of the original series. Sorry, the final episode of the original footage that they had before the overhaul. So all of that stuff is now complete, and the final 2 episodes will be all new footage that they shot for the new.
There's only
stuff.
2.
Only 2 left. Yep. Yes, sir. 9 episodes. Darth went to sleep.
It sucks. Like again, right? Like, not to overstate the fact of how much of a weirdo I am, but like, I was put off watching like the original show for like the stupidest of reasons. You know what I mean? And then I'd come into this, and it hooked me instantly. Like literally just off of the back of the dynamic of 2 actors.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, and their portrayal of Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk. Just, oh my god, it's just, oh my god, it's all of it so good, right? And especially this week. And there was a part of me that was wondering, like, at the start of this week's episode, I was like, is this going to be filler? You know what I mean? Because everybody was talking about last week's being filler, and it wasn't filler. Is this where it's going to be? Especially because like a lot of like Wilson Fisk stuff was him just musing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and just having like little speeches that were like intersect with like other things that were like thematically tying everything together, and he just kept waiting for that confirmation of like, oh, he's back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the second he says, oh, he's back, he's like, oh, I'm back. Okay. I mean, it's like, okay, cool. And his reaction to Heather being in trouble to just be like, whoa, not in my neighborhood, not in my neighborhood, not with my therapist. That's not happening. No, 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 no. You know, it's just it was all so good, and then the fact that what was his name? Muse, I forget his not Benjamin, not Damien, something like that. Brandon, something. I don't know.
I'll look it up in a second.
He was a great villain. He was able to do like tortured and brilliant and psychotic and chaotic and all of the things that like she spoke about, because she spoke about everything to deal with masks and why she wants to start researching that. And then literally be careful what you ask for, because one of them turns right up on your doorstep. You know, you ask for Daredevil, but at what cost? You know, like, ugh. And then Vanessa, you fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, you bit. How dare you? Right? We called this happening. We said this was going to happen, but how goddamn dare you? Oh my god, how dare you? Right? But then, thinking about it now, as I'm sitting here, like verbally admonishing a fictional character over choices, would he respect her less for not trying?
So that's been like that whole situation has been very up in debate about what exactly happened in that scene. Because I'm with you, at first it's like, oh, she sent him to go kill him, right? That's like what it very much seems like is happening. But you think about it a bit more, is that what happened, or was she setting him up? Were they both in on it? Because I think she knows her husband better to know that wouldn't work. She knows him better to know.
The only way that can be a thing is if there's a conversation about it, because they didn't show it. Right? So there has to be something to address that. Otherwise, it's fully that she was trying.
I kind of like wish she was trying. Like, I think that to me is the more interesting story, the most interesting route. Because if they did just plan it out, it's just like, okay, yeah, they're working together again. They're on the same goody-goody. Yes, that's cool. Yes, I love I love that actress and I love Vanessa. But like, I liked the idea of like Kingpin versus Queenpin almost. I love the potential of that story. And maybe it could still go there in the future, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe people are right about like maybe they were in on it together. Like the whole way it ends is like, call Vanessa, ask her if she wants, whatever. To me,
that's a power play. That's a power play, right, dude? Okay, so these are the reasons that I think it is that she set him up, right? Because Victor was stroking her ego, right? And it was her ego which put her in this position in the first place, right? Because she didn't need to say that the money was from her, like about her, right? She could have just let it be that it was Kingpin's thing. It's about him and his respect, right? But then she's like, "Oh no, it's about me. It's my play. I'm making you pay. It's my charges." Da, 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 da. So then he sat there fanning the flames of her ego, right? And then the thing at the end is a total power play of let her know she failed. You know what I mean? Because he didn't even flinch. He didn't even move. He knew he had his guy. He knew he had his shady character waiting in the wings, ready to go. Oh, so cool. I really hope that she didn't know. Because, like you said, it makes everything so much more interesting and layered. Do you know what I mean? Because as well, this is another thing I want to like. Another argument for me, right, is her ego is that she took an incredibly successful, viable criminal enterprise, right? That had been hurt,
Mhm.
right? But was still thriving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And made it better. Basically, what Elon Musk is doing with NASA equipment, right? And yeah, sure, there is credit to be given there, but like Wilson said, it took him 10 years of networking and business making
Yeah.
and this and this and this to get there, right? So, like, she's coming in when it's already at a high and making
Mm.
it even better, right?
Sure.
But the point is that man had 10 years of vision, of patience, of determination, of grit, right? She had somebody sitting there blowing smoke up her skirt for what, 30 seconds, and she's already making plays against Wilson. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all about vanity. Like, it will make her crumble. She doesn't have the time for a long game like he
Sure.
does. The guy's gone and had eye surgery and stuff and come back and like still had things going. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously it was Vanessa and stuff, but like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, no,
I
like
think he doesn't know. She doesn't know.
I don't like, yeah, because like I see potentials for two great storylines either way, but like I agree for the most part. Like, I think that'd be so interesting to watch that unfold, and it's like, how much does he know? How much does she know? Like, but like on that same side, like I almost think that's almost undermining Vanessa if she thought that would work, right? Like, she knows her husband very well. She knows how he operates. She knows that he would have someone watching his six every step of the way.
I think that's just a warning shot. Like, don't let me think. Don't let it think that I think that she thought, oh, mahaha, this is it, right? I think that's just her, like, just putting a warning shot across the bow, because he's already basically told her, don't overstep your bounds, right? He did that like last episode, if not before, during that like whole party thing, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was a point where she was trying to push, and then he was like, this is what we're doing. We've got to stick to the game plan. So she could show, A, I'm a threat, don't take me for granted, do not take me seriously, but also like, I am able to play both sides, and like, because she is also, by doing this and like trusting that her husband will take care of it, is just eliminating an issue. Do you know what I mean? As well. Do you know what I mean? So she's also showing that she's competent. She's doing like a lot of things all at once. It's crazy. This is what I mean. This is why I need it to be something. Because if it's just, say for example, when they were talking about their marriage, right? And he's like, oh, she's like, oh, I've never had to worry about him, and he's like, oh, I've never had to worry about her, right? All the while beating up that guy in the prison, right? I don't want that to be that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they said that, and then now that's what we got to take as a given, and then that's like, oh, no, it's fine, guys. We're seeing this, but they've already told us they're fine. They're inseparable, and it's great. Like, what I want that to be is, we've said that, now watch it all fall apart.
I agree. Yeah, like, you're 100% right with that, because like, if they are working together, what's the story there? That they just live happily ever after again? We've seen that. They were very happy together in, you know, the season 1 and season 3 of like the original show. We've seen them working together. Now I want to see what greed can do to a couple. You know, like what a story about what is more important to Wilson, love or power? And I think that's something that he's going to struggle with. I think that's a question he doesn't know the answer to quite yet, and he's going to have to figure out very, very soon, because that's fascinating to me, especially with Daredevil coming back in. There is a glimmer of I don't want to say addiction, but there's a glimmer of, he kind of loves it. Like, I thought like Wilson's or like Vincent's acting in that scene I thought was so good because there's so much acting in the eyes and just like in the facial expression of like he's back, and at first you're like, oh, he's pissed, but it's like, but is he? He seems a little happy. He seems like
yeah.
I think he's actually happy he's back.
It's almost like him hearing that he didn't even need the conversation with the Punisher. He's like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
It's very like, this is very silly, but it's very like Phineas and Ferb. Like it felt very like Agent P, Dr. Doof, where it's like they're enemies, but like they kind of love beating each other up kind of thing. It's just like
100%. Yeah. It's as well, like, I wonder if it is about just money, right? Obviously, he's charging the guy like a cool 2.8 mil for everything, right? But is it solely about money? Because when he was talking about a mission. I mean, his mission for helping the city, you know, which I think he does take very seriously, while also looking out for his own gains, of course. But I think that's obviously the other side of the coin from Daredevil, is that they're both on this holier than thou mission where they see what they're doing bigger than themselves. You know.
Sure. I do gotta say, I liked this episode enough. I think this may have been my least favorite episode of the season for me.
Wow.
And I don't think it's a bad episode. Like I didn't accidentally being like this was trash, but I think a lot of the things have just kind of been building for me. Like I think it's been a lot of these little stuff that I've been feeling throughout the season, where I feel like this episode kind of like boiled to the top of like, we're starting to see a little bit of the seams here. This to me felt the most like cut up footage for me. Like it felt like a lot of the. Okay, here's what I think has happened. This episode very much relied on building up a lot of the original story stuff. So you have the stuff with Heather and like where that story is going, and you have the stuff with his like PI friend. Cherry, yeah. You give like a lot of those stuff, and I feel like their dynamics were supposed to have been building up throughout the season. But what I think has happened is a lot of that stuff was cut and being replaced with the new stuff that they replaced it with. So the stuff with Cherry, I didn't feel a great connection with. The whole Heather, like, I love you, Matt scene, I don't think hits as hard for me because I don't know Heather yet. Like, they haven't made me care about that character enough, unfortunately. I like her, right? And I have even to that argument, like, I have like a devil's advocate that we could talk about to a second, because that's just how my brain works. But like, it's just like a lot of like, I want to love it more. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of little stuff that's just holding it back for me from loving this show, from this being a fantastic show. And I don't think it's their fault, right? They were in an impossible situation. They made a show they didn't like, and they wanted to redo it. And I will forever respect that decision. I will. But I don't know if you agree in any aspect, but like, there's a lot of this episode that I just felt very underbaked for me, if that makes sense.
Yes, I did feel that way earlier on, like I said, but then I kind of felt when we got to like Brandon West, he was very well. I think Petra playing Heather did very well. I think she did very well.
Buddy, I think your audio went out a bit. Kent, struggling to hear you a bit. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. You're a little bit better. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
I don't know
You're
why
good.
that's going with. So like Heather, the actress that played Heather, did very, very well.
Yes.
Very well.
She's great, yeah.
Very impressed. Because again, like the same with Kingpin and like his quote unquote addiction look, like when like she had to do like a whole bunch of subtle stuff because she's sitting here trying to placate a guy that when like she was already connecting the dots. when he was sat there and he like talking about his art and like, oh, you've opened my eyes to show me all I can be. She's like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. What have I done? What have I done? How did you feel about the confrontation?
With both Muse and Heather, you mean?
And Daredevil, yeah.
I liked it. I think I don't know how I feel about the whole Muse situation in general though, because I did end up feeling very confused because I think Muse has been a great villain so far. We were talking him up last week of like how great he is, how unique and interesting he's been, and this episode was doing him all the services. Like he was a very compelling villain. Like I liked what we were doing with him. And I'm not saying it's a mistake yet, because I don't know what these final 2 episodes are doing. I don't know where we're going next season, what they're doing with that character. I know there's some comic stuff that Taz had sent me and stuff like that. It was like, oh, this could lead here, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I don't know how I feel about them killing Muse.
Right. I was going to ask, do you feel that they've chopped up the end from what they originally did, right? Because obviously they're going in a whole other way at the end, right? I'm expecting Karen back and everything, right? So like they originally had Muse, right, for the one without Karen and Foggy, right? So my whole thing is, it's like the descriptions that they had for the guy, like, oh, he taekwondo this and taekwondo that and taekwondo and like everybody saying it in their own little way. To me, like, I felt like that would have made more sense to have that in last episode, right? Now, obviously, it wouldn't have worked out that way. Why? Because Daredevil confronted him last episode, and that's how they find out who he is, right? But if he'd have made like, I know he's like 60 in or whatever, but like just through the repetition or like a quick look on a computer at the algorithm through an algorithm at the pattern of his crimes, like there's like a whole bunch, like because he's not the smartest guy, he's just an artist, like a struggling artist. I mean, like he's an intelligent guy that knows how to like make blood stay into paint, right? But like he's not a scientist and stuff. Like he's not out here like Batman being a super detective or whatever. He would have left clues. You know what I mean? Like the guy's wearing canvas. He didn't just buy it last week. Like the woman that was talking about it was like, yeah. So there's like 2 stores that sell this, and only 12 or 11 people have bought this in the last like 2 weeks or something. Like, come on. Like, come on. Like, where? Like, is he? What? Oh my god! The whole thing is just like there had to have been something. You know what I mean? Like, and then to give him the descriptor and then have it all end in that scene in the therapist's office. Like, to have all of that like, build up and then
it didn't feel like I didn't realize like he died until the end of the episode, because I was like, oh, they shot him and then they're gonna pick him up or whatever. And then when he's like holding up the mask at the end, I was like, wait, he's dead? Wait, what? What do you mean he's dead? Like, we had been talking on here for a week where, like, I was telling you, oh, he's back for season 2. It's whatever. And I was like, well, I guess that was wrong. Unless they do
some... next week?
Yeah, are we doing, like, hand stuff where, like, we're bringing him back through or whatever? Like, I know in the comics there are sometimes, like, multiple muses and stuff like that. And Taz sent me a theory that, like, I kind of wouldn't hate, but like I don't know if I want to talk about yet, just in case it does happen and stuff like that. It's like I
would say legacy heroes could be a thing next season, right? Sure. Because obviously Tigers, sorry. Like his mantle passing on, Muse's mantle could pass on, you know, and then there could be like somebody trying to take Daredevil's billy clubs, and he's like, no, these are mine. So you know.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to call it a criticism yet, because, like, this is the conversation I want to pick back up after episode 9, where we can sit here and be like, okay, did they do this for this reason? Like, we could get into next week's episode and be like, oh, they did that to set up this thing, and it worked perfectly out, and I understand why they did it now. But as of this point, I do find frustration of like, man, I wanted more of this guy.
Oh, if Kingpin doesn't kill him, Adam could be the next Muse.
Maybe.
Because he's an artist, and his hands are what attracted Vanessa to him, right? So what if, like, his hands got him his Joker's worst day, and that's what turns him cray-cray?
Sure. I feel like there has to be more to Adam as well, because I think you're right in that aspect of like, if he's just kind of like a random guy that we never see, because he's still alive, right? Like he's like he put him back in the dungeon, right? So
yeah, he's back in there.
Yeah, like I would like to see some like, I don't know about Muse, but like something could be cool of like exploring his character. What does he mean to Vanessa? You know, like what is the exact deal going on there? I think could be very fun to explore. I'm trying to think like what other aspect. Okay, I the like one aspect of this episode I really did like is I did like the self-reflections that Matt is going on right now. I really, really like that stuff. There's a really, really good scene. Obviously, there's like the shower scene that we saw inside the trailers and stuff, and she sees the bruises on his back. You know, this was her first night, you know, being around Daredevil post him coming back into this world and stuff like that, right? All great, all good. But like, this is a question we were having of like, okay, how is their relationship going to be altered now that he stepped into that world? How is he going to get around hiding that from her? That wasn't a thing they've had in their relationship so far. And I like that they don't beat her on the bush. She sees it instantly. She's a therapist. She's not dumb. She sees these signs, and like there's this whole thing of like, you have, like, I don't want to therapize you because you're not my patient, but I have to say it. There's things about you, man, that you need to work out. You need to talk about it. You have all this trauma. And I love the line of like, sometimes I feel like I'm living a fake life, that I'm just going through the motions, that this isn't real. And I think that's such a smart decision because via the audience, it also doesn't feel real, right? Like we are living a different Matt Murdock's life than the version we had in the original show. It is a new cast of characters. It's a different tone. It's a different thing. And like, we feel like it feels different. Like fans of that original show is like, yeah, it does feel different. And Matt is feeling the exact same way. He's like, yeah, this is not my life. This is not the life I knew. And I think that's such an interesting way to depict trauma, right? Like that's trauma's whole thing, right? Where it's like, you kind of just have to keep going, right? You have to pick up your pieces, pull up your pants, and be like, I have to keep going or I won't move forward. And I think that's what Matt does. His friends are gone. His allies are gone. He's at a new firm. And like he has now found himself in a world that he no longer recognizes. And I think that's such an interesting place to put him. And going back to Daredevil is like the first piece of comfort he's had. It's the first piece of his old life he's been able to get back. And now that he's put that back on himself, it's like, oh, now I'm seeing things a bit differently. Now I can look back upon that stuff a bit differently and see, what am I missing? How am I feeling? Looking at that trauma a little bit, that I think is very, very interesting to me.
Like, if it's a place that he no longer recognizes, like, I understand, like, just because something changes, it doesn't mean it's not yours anymore. But like, if he's moved on and like the city's moved on, like, again, I keep making the argument, like, he's really not the right guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you keep making points, in my opinion, that just keep pushing him away more and more from being the right guy. Like, just because the city isn't something that he recognizes anymore, right? Him or Wilson, for that matter. They are both big supporters of change, like big advocates of making it the way they want it to be and the way they see it. But who's to say that's any better? Do you mean? Like, surely the people that are in step with the city, in time and in beat with everything, that are in the lifeblood right? Not on the outskirts and changing everything like that. You know what I mean? They would be the better people, in my opinion. I mean,
I think
and
that's like a
will
part of
be
it,
next.
though. Like, I think like he's finding comfort in that part of his life coming back. Like, I feel like Daredevil is like the only part of it he can control, right? Because like he can't get Foggy back, he can't get his old firm back, he can't get Karen is at a different part of her life. She's moved on in a sense, which will be interesting because I'm pretty sure she was back for the final two, but I could be completely wrong. So I'm wondering how that's going to go with like literally old parts of his life coming back is going to be interesting, right? But it's like it's like that is the one part now that I can recognize that feels normal, that feels organic to me. It's like slipping on a shoe. I really did enjoy the scene with him and Cherry of them being like it's taken them weeks to find this guy. I found him in one night. Like I feel like that's the like justification he has to give himself that he's doing the right thing. And like the firing back at Cherry I thought was very funny. Like how many times did you call Daredevil to help you out on your cases because you couldn't do it the way you wanted to do it? And I'm not saying that's the right thing to say, but I do think it's very Batman, right? It's very like Jim Gordon having to call Batman for all of his, needs in Gotham City and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm curious just like where the story leads, like where do we end the season? Because right now it kind of felt like this was like a semi ending in various like the Muse stuff and like the Heather stuff. Like I felt like this was kind of like a semi ending, and I'm wondering what's this new footage and how do they wrap up the season? I think it's gonna be interesting.
Well, I think what they had originally was him being born again and his first case. Do you know what I mean? And then season 2 would have been the exploration of what Heather was talking about, where Kingpin and that Matt are hiding behind both a mask and a badge. Do you know what I mean? Like, so a mask in a different way is like a shield, so it's just like a bigger one, if you want it to be. So I think they're trying to finish on a more definitive note than leaving it open-ended and ambiguous. It's going to be interesting because I'm not going to like the decision they make, or like the decision Matt makes, right? Because again, like as a mentor or anything, like fine, fill your boots, right? But like, when's the last time the guy had a shave, right? Not one's talked, right? But like he is going through something, which is why he hasn't shaved, and he's going for this whole new look. Like the fact that you said he's moving forward and can't look back, like you're right, he literally can't look back. He can't stop. He can't. The fact that he told Heather that what they were going through and everything else around him felt fake was the biggest slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? Like, everybody grieves, everybody understands grief, and everybody feels for you because you're grieving. But that's not to say that you can be a dick about it.
Sure.
Like a dick with it. And, like, she was off. Let us not forget that, right? When he sat there saying, like, oh, I'm going to be telling Vanessa about herself, like, oh, and then Heather was like, right, I'll see you later at the coffee shop. He was like, no, let's sit down, let's have this date. And then he kept it going, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, being a couple takes two things, but like he started this thing off. So to sit here and go, oh, it means nothing because I'm sad my best friend died. How dare you?
I think that's so real though. Like I don't think he was like, oh yes, I can't wait to break her heart and like do all this stuff. And I just think like that is such a honest and vulnerable thing to admit to the person that you're seeing, which also happens to be a therapist, right? Like I think there is a part of her that probably respects that level of vulnerability from him. And again, like, I don't think it's a thing that he's been purposely doing, but I think he's just been living his life in autopilot. He's just been, yes, this is what people do my age. They date, they go out, and it's like, it does feel like a very one-sided relationship, right? It's her being like, hey, I love you, doing all these things, and it's not that he doesn't like her, because I think he cares very deeply for her, but I think he just had like a resolution this episode of like, where am I? Like what exactly am I doing? And I still had that fantastic scene like at the end of the episode, like when she's in the hospital, and he clearly cares for her still. I just think it's something that he needed to get off his chest. I think it's just something that he kind of
found out. He had to smother her with a pillow. It can't get out. Yeah.
That was a very interesting. It's like, I think Daredevil said my name. I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting.
See, the other thing is, like, she has to find out because he got cut on the leg. She's like, oh yeah, I remember it was hazy, but I remember getting Daredevil getting flash on the leg. That's like the same spot, dude. Like, come on. Feels on purpose at this point. So it feels on purpose at this point. I'm joking. Yeah, no. I don't know. Heather. Do you think she's gonna find out by the end of the season?
I would prefer if they waited. I would prefer if they let the relationship sit more, especially with this originally supposed to be like one long season, right? Like season 2 is just like seemingly an extension of season 1. I would like them to wait.
See,
but you have a good point about the leg.
Yeah. My issue with what he said, right, is as much of a revelation that he may have had to himself, right? Because like he didn't fully share the revelation, he just spited her, right? So he didn't need to share this revelation, because if it was a revelation he wanted to share, he'd be like, yo, I'm Daredevil, I'm hiding things from you, the whole thing feels like a sham because I'm not being completely honest, right? Instead, what he chose was words of spite, right? Like words of venom, like were only gonna hurt her. There was no way, like if he said what you said, right? Essentially, as you know, like my friends, yes, but then like the last few years before that, I was also working with some stuff about my dad and the way he passed. My caseload not only is depressing, it's not only like struggling with the amount that there is, but the way that people are being treated by and in the justice system is heartbreaking. I'm constantly struggling with that weight on my shoulders as a responsibility of so many lives in my care, you know. So that when I'm taking personal time, as much as I'm trying to invest in you, I'm constantly being pulled away. You know what I mean? Like I constantly feel that I'm anchored in two different places at once. And he could have said, like, I feel like this is like being in a dream. You know what I mean? He could have said, I'm holding on because like this is like where it feels like this is where it feels safe, but out there it feels like more real and dangerous, but in here it's sheltered and safe because I have you with me. Like there's a million ways that he could have said anything else that it was not like, oh, this just seems fake because I'm sad.
Sure.
What an arsehole. How the hell he gets so many women is amazing.
I don't know if if what he said exactly was 100% against her. Like, I don't think it's like our relationship feels fake. I think he's just talking about his whole life, like what he's doing with his friends, his lawyer business. You know, yes, his relationship a little bit, but like, it wasn't like a fight. Like, it wasn't like I'm not happy in our relationship. I don't trust what we got going on. It's just like, sometimes I just don't know where I am sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it was a full, this isn't working for me, blah, blah, blah. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe.
But yeah, but also like when people are really low, they lash out.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And he was very, very low this episode. Even lower the episode before where he had like those prayers with Foggy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's just thinking lower and lower and lower until like he didn't even like he's been wanting to pick up the suit the whole time, but not wanting to pick up the suit. So like when he was pushed into that corner and was able to like let all of that rage out, like 100% he wanted it, 100%. But at that point, I think you needed to be honest with Heather. Do you know what I mean? Because you're sitting here saying that your life feels fake because you're back to keeping everything a secret. You're back to nobody knowing who you really are, the demons that you're truly struggling with, except your enemy, right? And one of your best friends / romances becoming like a frenemy kind of situation, and your bestie just straight being out of here. That's kind of like, that is just what life is, though. Do you know what I mean? Life, it lives in cycles. I mean, nobody has their childhood friends like the whole way through their life. Do you know what I mean? You have your school friends, then your high school friends, and then your work friends. Do you know what I mean? And then like some of them like stay throughout, and you have like friends that remain and come and go and stuff. But you don't start. Obviously, grief's involved. It was a tragic accident, right? But like to become bitter at the life that you've reassembled in the broken glass, is interesting. Do you know what I mean? And incredibly self-destructive. Because what's he hoping for? To just be on the rooftop spinning his little sticks by himself in the dark? Like, what's he want? What does he want by attacking people?
Yeah, like,
you know?
and like that's the thing too. It's like you made a good like analogy. Is like, yeah, you're not friends with everyone your whole life, and that's true. But also, it's not always it wasn't like a choice to lose these people either, right? Like everyone he's cared about in his life is gone, right? Like his father died at a young age. He has a very interesting relationship with his mother. Foggy is dead. Elektra is MIA. Karen is kind of forced out via the circumstances of trauma. Like so many of these people in his life.
But sorry, just quickly.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The amount of OAPs that have a life very similar to the amount of loss that this man has had. There should be like octogenarians swinging from rooftops with cables. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody goes through this. This is a whole part of life.
Sure.
Like trauma and suffering and grief and loss. Like there are 8 billion people on this planet, probably 9, right? And that's only from people that get censored. So it's actually close to like 11 or 12 or something like that, right? That's just it. That's just them's the grapes. You know what I mean? That's what we got to deal with. And to then again that's how you know that that's how you know it's vindictive, right? Because if the resentment was solely at his life, he would have done things self-destructively in a different way. But instead, he was so angry at like his life that he attacked the people in it in a personal way, so that they would be pushed away.
I guess that's just, maybe we're just viewing the scene differently then, because like I didn't see it as attack personally. I just saw it as him confessing how he feels, like him being able to be vulnerable with her, because she didn't feel offended. I didn't think, like she was just like, okay, I can see where that goes. And then like by the end of the episode, like they're together. They're like, he's comforting her. Like I think they're still in a relationship. I think they're still happy together. He's just confessing how he needs, how he's addressing the relationship, and it's tough. I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, that is an asshole thing to say.
Yeah, she was absolutely hurt, and I'm not saying like, oh, it's a deal breaker, right? But if you look at that and like accumulatively with the other conversations with his relationships, like the way he's talking to Cherry, do you know what I mean? Like, Cherry is your support network here, right? As much as you don't like it, he's basically your new Foggy, right? He's your guy in the chair, right? And you're lucky that you have him, right? Because he could be off in Florida just flipping burgers on a grill. Like, this man has earned his retirement, but here he is, day in, day out, helping you slough through like criminal cases and everything else. And all he was doing was looking out for you and just saying, dude, you hung up the suit for a reason. You're going through some shit. Let the police handle it. If you know something, go tell them to take care of it. You know what I mean? That's literally what they could have done, you know? Chose to go a different way. You know? And again, like, Heather would have probably been dead if he didn't burst through the window, but it was written that way.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because if he wasn't sitting on the information and that they were working together, he would have been found sooner. So that wouldn't have been the case. It's crazy. The whole show is crazy. I absolutely love it. It's not even any criticisms. It's just like,
we're breaking down the character stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, because it's that good that we can have these conversations. Sure. You know what I mean?
Sure. Like we've said in like every episode, like, no one's claiming Matt Murdock to be like a morally fantastic person. Like, he's a hero. He does what's right in his perspective. But like, could he do some things better sometimes? Sure, probably. Even if we disagree on like the level of that, if you will. But yeah, like,
look at the way Kingpin described it. He broke men, he broke bones, he broke spirits, all because of his righteousness.
Sure, but that's also from his, like, Kingpin is not a good man either. Like, he's twisting the like truth through his perspective. He's like, he's taken away.
That is literally what happened. Like, that part he put like a poetic spin on, right? But the whole, like, he broke men, he broke spirits, like he broke bones, he broke spirits, he for his righteousness, all of that was incredibly on point.
Yes, but like, those people were murderers and rapists and like terrible
all of
people.
Them. Not all of them.
They were employed by him.
So wait. You're tarring every criminal in the organization with the same brush of all of the crimes accumulatively committed, or individually?
Well, no, but they're still criminals. Like, they're still doing bad
but they're
things.
They're not all rapists. They're not all murderers. Like, there could be a guy in there just sorting out tax. You know what I mean? Like, and then he gets beat up just the same because Daredevil like made it so.
Sure, but like, he's not arresting these people. Like, he's knocking them out.
That's even worse. That's even worse. That's like a bully just going in there, just like duff. At least Spider-Man like webs them up for the authorities.
I mean, yeah, like he drops them off for like the police and stuff like that too. Yeah, but like he's doing what's right. Like he's taking down the criminal underworld.
Right is in very heavy quotation marks. Very heavy. Like, right, the word, I know, baby, I'm giving you strokes, relax. The word right, like, there's a lot of heavy lift in there.
Yeah. Sure. But with that being said, I mean, do you have any kind of final thoughts? Like, I think it was a pretty straightforward episode in terms of like the main plot and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just that, one, I can't believe BB finally got threatened at the end. Like,
that was crazy.
Coming.
Yeah.
It was very crazy. We knew it was coming. But wow, what a smarmy guy. Ugh. hate him. But love him at the same time.
Yeah.
And then just, baby, I will. I'm giving you strokes. Relax. I'm stroking you. She keeps hitting me. Just the duality that they're playing with the Kingpin and Daredevil, couldn't be done any better. Genuinely couldn't be done any better. Because another reason why that I think the Vanessa thing, like, is that she's setting him up, right? Is because at the moment both couples, and they're playing like a whole duality theme, right? Both couples will be lying then to each other.
Sure. Yeah.
More reasons to it.
The whole like task force thing I really enjoyed this week too. Like I loved Kingpin's thing at the end of like, yes, but you did all the work. You did this. You take the credit. Like that's even better. Of like, okay, he can be back, but you're going to take all the credit for everything he does. Like that's so fun. That's so
while
good.
hunting him. That's so sick.
It's so good. Yeah, really fun. I'm curious to see how we kind of wrap up the season. I'm hoping we get Punisher next week. I'm hoping we get more Karen next week. See what this new footage has to offer, how we wrap up the season. With that being said, Darth, it was great talking to you once again. Where can people find you? What you got cooking? Anything on your side of the things that you want to shout out, promo, all that fun stuff?
I have an idea that I'm working on, right?
Ooh.
And I'm being careful, right? Because it's funny because I did an idea of and then I just started seeing that idea everywhere, right? So I'm going to do the idea, and then we'll see if we see it elsewhere.
Gotcha.
What did my baby say? My
Sorry.
one and only.
She just said, "Have a good night, everybody."
Lightning fast. There we go. Yeah. Hi. Oh, I'm so in love with you too, baby. Join us back next week for more After the Credits. Taz, I think he'll be back next week. I'm trying to think. I think we should have 2 shows coming back this week with Doctor Who and The Last of Us. I still need more time on that one. God damn it.
You can join us in a couple of weeks once you're like, we can save it towards the end or whatever, and we can, because I definitely don't want to spoil you on the season.
Wait. Did they binge drop it?
It's weekly.
And it's next week?
It's Sunday, yeah.
Sunday? Right. Okay. How many episodes are there already? Like 8?
I think it's an 8-episode season.
Okay, so I could do like an episode a night and then just smash through the rest.
And if you like need like an extra week, like we can avoid spoilers for the first episode, or we can like move it around where we talk about that last, and whatever. Like definitely not. We can work around that. But it's
I watch it with hair. Like, I was trying to save it so I could watch it with hair, because like I'm definitely gonna need it to hold me when I'm watching it. 9 episodes. Okay.
Is it 9? Okay.
Right. 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour 16. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're.
And ironically, that's called the long time. Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, we'll be back next Monday, and then Pipeline this Thursday. We will be joined by Taladia Plays. We will be talking about how we would expand the Insomniac Spider-Man universe if we had a way. So that will be a very fun episode. So tune in for that, like always. And I will see you guys on the flip side.